trophies. They want to be on that stage,
Well,
the last team standing. Still standing in their way, Crazy Raccoon and Team Falcons, it won't be easy. Crazy Raccoon are in extremely good form for this tournament, Matt.
Well, I think the thing right now is that for these EMEA teams, it actually feels realistic to win an event, right? In the past, it was like, you know, we can kind of get to the top 4 and we'll see what happens. It feels now, though, that there is a real possibility. But Crazy Raccoon, I mean, they are just on another level, Jake. We'll see how Qadsiah deals with them. A Lucio ban from CR early on. I mean, that is one that is pretty valuable here against Qadsiah because Kellex is really strong on the Lucio. And then a Ramatra ban straight away from Alcat.
Interesting choices from both squads. And without the Lucio, it does put a bit of a dilemma to Qadsiah. What are they going to do? What is going to be their next best option? We've seen them in the past run some Brig Juno, some different styles, so they're actually quite a comfortable team when it comes to that flexibility, but I think you're right. It's undeniable. The Lucio has been a core feature of the style. The players I've really focused on here for Qadsiah are Checkmate and Ziad, though. Ziad on the tank, I mean, not just the best in Europe. This guy wants to put his mark on the scene as one of the best in the world, maybe #1. He really is that kind of a player. This is a generational player. I honestly can't remember a tank player that has taken over the scene quite like this so early in their career.
On the Diva, I mean, he is up there already, right?
I think so.
And he is starting to round out his hero pool with things like the Zarya, with the Ramatra. Obviously, the Ramatra gone here for Busan early on. Also to note, this is a map that we did see T1 go to and use like a, you know, a SIG sim setup, and it was really effective against some of these sim comps as Crazy Raccoon. I mean, this would be,
Matt,
a really nice shout, but Qadsiah might have something for him.
Might be real.
No, it might be.
It might be real. If we get a Rhine mirror in the year of our Lord, 2025, maybe. Junbin's out the gate. He's on the Reinhardt, ladies and gentlemen.
So this is a comp here for CR.
Oh, but Qadsiah.
They don't mind brawling out with that sim though. But hey, it's finally happened after months of you telling us the sim bastion. Here it finally is.
And Qadsiah about to show how it works. Junbin is going to be under immense pressure. The amount of raw damage throughput from this Qadsiah strat is overwhelming, even for the Reinhardt. He's saying, one chance with this Maywall to split the fight apart, but Qadsiah playing this one slow, careful, poking down, TP wide. It's on to Lip, on to the Ashe. Reinhardt nowhere to be seen, no shield to be had. And Ziad already finds the second. Qadsiah are gonna open this point.
They are so good at playing this style. They see what's on the other side of Crazy Raccoon, and instead of playing aggressive, right, they take their time. They're not even really worried about the point early on. And are we seeing
I am sorry, what?
I mean, this is Crazy Raccoon. They are cooking with something here. We'll see how it works.
There's gas in the tank, but Qadsiah have so many powerful tools. The anti-dive from this Brig Juno setup is very real. Junbin and Heesang chew on the Ana. If there were ever a few players who could make this work, it would be the Crazy Raccoon squad. Qadsiah playing slow, holding the point. Checkmate. Forced into that rotation, but Lip left on an island and landed strikes. Qadsiah trying to keep their supports alive. And for now, they're stabilizing. And Checkmate even, I mean, to Acros into Shu, kind of bats him back. But, I mean, the brawl looks good. Ziad's kind of running rampant here.
And the thing that you see with Checkmate and Yubi, specifically Yubi of Twisted Minds, is how good they use the TPs, not just for the team utility, but for their own, right? That time it's a TP from Checkmate into the backline, puts some pressure on Shu and knows that he still has the TP behind him to get out.
Qadsiah with the Sim Bastion, just holding on to this high ground. It's been unbreakable. Crazy Raccoon not finding any weaknesses here. Labda, super low, forced into an artillery form, has the perk to get the help, but it's not enough. Lip cleans him up, and that's one down. Qadsiah, are they going to crumble here? No, Kellex standing tall, gets a counter kill. The Nano and a Choron keeps him alive, but no opportunity to get aggressive. The Orbital Ray stabilizes things, and Qadsiah fending off all attackers. Now Junbin caught off a bit alone. Choron needs to come in with the rally, needs to come to his aid, but Ziad is not backing down.
I mean, he is so weak. It's going to be a self-destruct here for Ziad. Not able to get back in the mech, but it does not matter. That is a sick play from Qadsiah as they look to be dominating this first round.
Checkmate TP's the bomb around the corner. You think you're safe on Crazy Raccoon. You better watch out for Checkmate. Now comes a desperation final touch. We'll have to see if Crazy Raccoon can somehow find a way in. Heesen gets the OT. Jumpin has ulti, can get a second, but they're up against the Kelix rally. Cannot afford to make a mistake. Checkmate isolates the point with the stim wall, and now you must take the fight into Kelix, but he's taking it to you. Now Labda on the high ground wants to clean up this round. We're looking down the barrel of a 100-0 start. Crazy Raccoon asleep for now. The OC from Lip on the high ground needs to find kills, needs to find a connection. He's done it. Maybe just enough to keep the Raccoons alive.
And so unfortunate for Labda. No, those walls sometimes come up on the point. It comes up right as Junbin is going down on the Doomfist, and they're not able to finish him off. It will be Liv who gets on to get the point flipped. So Crazy Raccoon not going down without a fight, but they got to run it all the way back as now we have Chorong here on the Wuyang. So Wuyang Ana with a Doomfist, a very different comp here from CR.
Checkmate sticking to the sim, trusting in this EMEA style, the one that has brought them to this point. Now though, they're attacking into Shu's Ana. This nade could be a problem. TP gets them through the choke, takes things wide. Nade is good onto Checkmate, but is it enough for the kill? The support's right behind him, keep him alive for now. CR though, poking away, Chorong onto the Wuyang, a lot of poke damage and Lip. It's always Lip with the headshot. He's saying, thinking about a pulse bomb here, wants to solidify this cleanup, may not even need it. Junbin strikes hard and fast.
Yeah, and I think for Qadsiah there, you may have been trying to farm up that orbital ray, right? You're trying to keep Checkmate alive as Ziad gonna get back to the spawn here. Gonna swap, go back to the Diva. You may have been kind of just trying to keep Checkmate alive through that bio grenade and then end up using that orbital ray and really brawling out with that. Is CR still a long way to go here to make this comeback.
Ziad trying to get active on the backline, wants to put some pressure on these Crazy Raccoon supports, has to back off, trying to help his team. He's with a pulse bomb, could end this push here and now. Qadsiah trying to step forward. Now they come, but it's Junbin with a nano, ready to greet them. Orbital Ray is good. It does take down Lip, but it costs Kelix in return, so Qadsiah low on the sustain, and Junbin's making mincemeat of them. This Doomfist is working.
It is coming in huge here as they cannot deal with Junbin. So now you're like looking at what? Maybe one more hold here for CR to have a crazy run back, the 99-0 for Qadsiah. They look dominant right now. CR
with the high noon. Is it going to be enough? He stays alive for now. Great play by these Qadsiah supports, keeping everyone alive through the immense pressure of Lip's overclock, but it's just not enough. Chorong finds Kelix. They're starting to bleed out now. Junbin, so aggressive, has an ultimate to back him up. Landon finds one, but the slam is way too much damage. That meteor strike cleans up, and it's only Landon cannot touch the point. Crazy Raccoon fight back into this round, and it was looking dire there, Matt.
Man, not many teams would it be able to do what CR just did. Qadsiah dominating there early. The Doomfist swap. You get Lip onto the Sojourn. They were easily able to kind of go after him when he was playing the Ashe. And that really turned the tide in this first round. Is take a look at some of the stats. I mean, Checkmate obviously with a great round. Same with, Labda. You kind of got what you wanted.
Would have loved
the
to
damage
see
dealers
come back out on the Tracer there for some of those retakes.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Because the Symmetra didn't seem nearly as effective once CR found the swaps they were looking for and got into a defensive position. And if that's a portent for the rest of this series, Qadsiah are in trouble. The Civ is a key part of their strategy. They need to be able to win against some of these Crazy Raccoon counterpicks. And Raccoon just say, hey, we're running it back. What are you going to do differently this time? Shu, he's got that headshot perk on mine. Watch out, Landon.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of teams have players, though, like Shu and Chorong in the back line that can make something like this work with a Doomfist in the mix. Yeah, maybe Qadsiah, right? We talked with Landon. They feel like they can run this into just about anything, and they've proven that really thus far, but we have not seen anybody try this.
Rail onto Chorong, goes wide. Ziad went deep and got punished for it. And that for now, CR playing this one slow and comfortable works out for them. It's going to be first flip to Crazy Raccoon. Qadsiah cleaned up off the point. Starting to slow down here on Busan. CR, is this just the answer? Have they found it?
Well, typically we would see Ziad be able to get out in that type of situation, right? It is just an insane amount of poke that is coming in from Crazy Raccoon. It's now a change So Checkmate's going to go over to the Tracer. They ditch the Sim for now. And then we're also going to see Landon move away from that Juno. Going to play the Kiri for a little bit better survivability.
Checkmate, he's going to take this flank fight, but Junbin's here overloading it, forces Landon away. The pressure is immense, taking on Crazy Raccoon in a dive mirror. It's a test few teams would willingly take. Qadsiah recognizes this is their only option. Landon on a sliver of HP. Kellex takes a nade. The pressure is just unrelenting. They cannot get stabilized. And shoot, what a snipe from this Ana. Taking over the server. The flank from Checkmate puts some pressure on, but the damage is done.
When we're on with Shu, we barely even see him trying to heal on the Ana. It's just like having another hit scan out there at range. Just takes lip. Down, takes down Lab as he crosses there is Ziyad.
Mac would be brutal. He has to flop. He's going to lose all bomb charge here. And this is getting ugly, Matt. I mean, Crazy Raccoon are going to have 5 ultimates for this fight. Qadsiah have nothing. They just have to drain the economy. This fight is nigh unwinnable.
Yeah, but what? You drain the economy here of CR, and then you have one chance, and doesn't look like you're going to do much of that. It's an Ana boost here onto Junbin as he just dives right into the spawn.
Crazy Raccoon on form. As much as I've ever seen them finding their footing, Junbin holding the doors. He's not backing down. He's not retreating from this angle. You've got to watch out. He is fearless in this position, and Qadsiah have no way to punish him. No significant control.
This is worst case for Qadsiah. It's just demoralizing. You are just getting pushed all the way back into your spawn. Here in round number 2, there has been no resistance to the dominance of Crazy Raccoon. It's going to be a tidal blast here.
Beautiful.
Pulse bomb onto Kellex. That's the rally gone.
Beautiful plays from Heesang. Dancing, juking out Kellex, who can't block with a shield. OC from Lambda does find one, but that meteor strike gonna zone him away. Rush, meaningless here in the face of Crazy Raccoon's hold on Busan. They go up 1-0, and what a convincing win. Qadsiah came out strong with that Sim Bastion strat, but couldn't close out the round, and whew, you see why Crazy Raccoon picks Busan on map 2.
Yeah, and I mean, just fantastic swaps from CR. Able to move over to that Doomfist, the Wuyong Ana, getting lift off of Ashe and onto Sojourn, making him a much harder target to chase down. I do wonder if there is some stuff that Qadsiah, though, has kind of cooked up, right? They have to have some kind of answer for this as we take a look at some of the stats. He's saying on the Tracer, I'm talking about how maybe Tracer isn't as effective at this tournament as some in the past, but right there in combination with the Doomfist look quite clean.
Man, this fight, even this overtime fight, like this is genuinely very close.
Yes.
To 100-0 for Qadsiah, which would have been amazing for them. I think if they can get to that
Dude, if that
round,
wall doesn't go up on the point, he may end up killing Junbin there for Labdad. You may end up holding it.
It really does sometimes come down to those movable barriers. Sometimes the bane of my existence back in the day. And now, you gotta wonder, where are Qadsiah going to take us? Because you've got to be terrified now of a CR dive threat. I mean, maybe you already were going into this series. We could have guessed that would have been Crazy Raccoon of all teams willing to force a main tank dive style. And Junbin says, you're meta be damned. I'll play what I want.
Call me crazy. But me and you talked a little bit about it yesterday, or the other day when we saw it. The T1 comp with that SIG, with the Sim, and like a bat. Could you play that if you are Alcad?
I want to see them bring that out on some of these maps. Like, I mean, come on. What are the odds it's not Shambali here on map?
Because we were.
Let's be 100% real, Matt. What are the odds it's anything but Shambali Monastery?
I mean, it's been a lot of Shambali. But like, we were in the elevator with some of the players, and we were kind of joking about that T1 comp. And they were like, "Hey, that looked."
I was telling TM. TM was saying, "Oh, we got messed up map 1." I'm like, I think T1. That was a download.
There was something there. Yeah, there was something there. So we'll see. I mean, now Qadsiah, there's a bunch of different options, right? Maybe if the Ramatra's in the mix, it's a little bit different, right? The Doomfist trying to play into like that vortex with the slow and then being able to be punished a little bit more by the Ram. That is a Qadsiah ban there for the Ramatra in map number 1, but they probably did not have the Doomfist coming out on their cards.
I like the Ram ban. I actually think the reason they banned Ram is because they want to play Sim Bastion on Mecha base. And honestly, look, that wide open stage of Busan, it's not your stage. For Qadsiah. You're not expecting to win that. But if you can win Mecca and you can win downtown, you don't worry about it. And shock.
Yeah,
surprise.
I mean, we should just lock it in. Let teams pick map number 1.
This is Qadsiah. Like, this is the best sim map in the pool. This is telegraphed. Maybe
I mean,
CR
look,
should know it's coming, but they have to be prepared.
Look, this is EMEA Overwatch, right? You're going to see them go to Shambali Monastery. They are going to go to King's Row. The other two maps, they probably will most likely not really, kind of go to in replacement of those. They probably go to New Junk City most of the time, and then Runasapi. Those are going to be like the EMEA staples for their type of playstyle. So not all too surprising. I wonder what they decide to ban, though. Like, if you're Qadsiah, do you consider, like, are you trying to target
I'd be
maybe
banning
that
Venture.
Okay,
I'd be banning Venture. You must ban a DPS. There's not really a choice, or else you will be sim banned.
Would you ban, like, well, true. So
It
they would
just
ban
has
Sim.
to be a DPS.
I was like, would you ban the Wuyong? But then they would just ban Sim.
It's
and
Venture, maybe it's far up. Honestly, I think Venture is the best ban against, Crazy Raccoon in particular.
What about Sojourn? They were easily able to get
was
on
the
top.
ban. It was a powerful hit scan ban previously in the old sim strat because it was the best hit scan at escaping the sim rush. But now with Freya, you just replace. You just, okay, you ban Soj, I play Freya. Similar enough in the ability to escape the TP and play from range.
And I think CR, a lot like when Falcons kind of went up against Qadsiah back at the mid-season championship. Let's target the supports like Kellex. Like, we're going to target your Lucio, Landon. We're going to get that Kiri out, right? Maybe this allows Shu to play even more Ana.
Oh, now if Shu's going to be on Ana. Right. And you ban Kiri, this is a signal, I think, that CR want to play a dive matchup or at least an Ana variant, maybe like
but then
Ana Ram.
What does Qadsiah play now in the support line?
It's got to be the Bap Lucio.
Yeah, you would think it would be Bap Lucio. Yeah,
I mean, think typically they want to play Bap Lucio, but you would be surprising if you didn't go Kiriko and facing with someone like Shu's Ana. He's gonna find these nades, and when you're all clumped up on a sim comp, you're trying to make these big team moves. A nade could just devastate you. Max is gonna come in for Junbin, which doesn't completely shock me. It's Shambali Monastery. This is very much a map type where you want those off-tank options, whether it's taking a D.Va, whether it's even the Ramatra, which I think Max actually looked great on. And Max has looked strong all tournament long, and I feel like this has maybe been a bit of a breakout for him, where in the past it has always felt like a bit of the Junbin show on Crazy Raccoon.
And I mean, that is Qadsiah's first map loss here at the World Finals, so not a lot of adversity for Qadsiah thus far.
They haven't had to battle back. They've been, it's been all dubs, which is nice. But then you find yourself in a matchup against Crazy Raccoons, and let's be honest, you were never going to 3-0. CR does not go down easy, period.
Yeah, not much adversity faced by CR either. Not like they've been in some nail biters like Falcons, but we take a look at some of the stats here.
What the?
And this is just damage per minute here.
What the damage gap?
For Max. Dude,
he's number one by like 200. Look, the rest of the players, like no one is even close.
Yeah, well, I mean, we also don't have in context like how many maps he's like played, and then like let's say the maps he's played.
But this is damage per man. I mean,
right. But let's say they've been to short, and then he's playing the Zarya mostly,
dominating.
In
fairness, he has just been clapping through teams.
Quartz has been in game. Like the one that's impressive, probably the most for me, is like the 2, 3, 4, 5, because they've been in some like really long games.
Jasmine's had to fight this tournament, man. He has had to struggle. Talk about adversity. The fact that T1 still in this, still fighting it out, I'm hopeful for T1 to make a deep run in this tournament. That's a team that I really get behind.
I was telling Comp Ops, these North America versus the World Series, they got to be first to fours. I mean,
we need to get
come on.
Only if NA's losing, all right?
Yeah, if NA's losing, let's just keep adding maps. But come on.
Best of 99?
Yeah, best of 1 for NA, best of first to 4 for the other side of things. Is we take a look at a little bit of a deeper dive into Max. You were talking about, Jake. He's had such a fantastic event.
I mean, this is a monster stat line. That is for sure. Can he keep it up, though, against Qadsiah on Shambali? I mean, this is a must-win map for Qadsiah. This is their strongest map. This is a place where if CR just win this map, I honestly think the series is done. Like, I think it really is that bad. This is do or die. This is your most powerful punch.
I mean,
I mean, Max is kind of being thrown into the wood chipper here. Like, this is not a great spot to be subbed in. This is not, a map served up for you on a silver platter. It's exactly the opposite. So Max, if he could just get a win here, or at least make Qadsiah sweat, get this down to a very close series, that would be really impressive for him.
Well, there has to be a lot of urgency on the Qadsiah side, because like you mentioned,
do or die right here. I mean, well, it's only map 2, but I mean, the stakes couldn't be higher here.
Yeah, I mean, never say never, right? But reverse sweeping Crazy Raccoon on all of their map selections. I mean, I was going to say we have seen some wild stuff, but nothing probably as wild as that. As That would be one.
I don't know if I've ever seen Crazy Raccoon be reverse sweeped. Has it, like, truly, since the formation of this team, it may never have happened. I mean, you talk about the skill level on this squad, just winning a few maps in a row. I mean, taking the series
once
feels
you
like
add
a godsend.
Once you add loser map selection and then first ban into the mix, it is a really uphill battle. So you kind of see where we landed here in map number 2. It'll be Qadsiah's selection. They take us to Shambali. Nothing surprising there. The Venture ban ends up protecting the Symmetra for them, and then also getting one of the most prominent sim kind of counter picks out of the way. And then Crazy Raccoon, they target that Landon Kellex backline of like, all right, yep, we're gonna get rid of the Kiri. Shu may end up playing that Ana a little bit more at range, no cleanse in the mix. Let's see how you deal with it.
I do think Landon, of all players in this tournament, is gonna be pretty happy to go to the Baptiste.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna feel stressful for him, and if anything, it kind of ups the ante on the aggression level that this sim style can put out, right? You open up that amplification matrix, and I mean, you do not want to be on the other side of that, facing down the damage throughput that Qadsiah can put down, especially when you add sim TPs into the mix.
There's also so many maps you can play Doomfist, right? I don't know if Shambali Monastery is like...
It's not one of them, man.
No, not one of them, right?
I mean, look, Junman's different, all right? We said you couldn't play Winston this patch. Junman played Winston. We didn't even say you couldn't play Doom. That was implied because no one plays that character anymore. And yet Junbin made it work against one of the best in the world. So CR, I mean, look, they look like this hasn't been the best year for them. Let's be honest. Mid-season championship, probably one of their worst ever global LAN performances. And I feel like the anger is palpable on this squad. Like, they are playing with that intensity. Think about that lower bracket run we saw in the last tournament. I mean, they're a scary team when you kind of provoke them and put them into a corner.
Yeah, so it looks like for CR, it'll be Ana Brig backline here. The Ramatra banned in map number 1 will come into play here in map number 2 as the doors do open. Qadsiah, nothing surprising here, going to be going with that sim.
It's going to be all about the payload. CR have incredible pick potential. Ana, Sojourn, Echo, all three could find game-opening plays, but Qadsiah fighting as a unit, pushing the payload. It's going to be extremely hard to challenge that. Even Ramatra can hold it down, but will it be enough? A lot of pressure, I think, on Heesang in particular right now. What can the Echo find to open this map up? Cart inching forward bit by bit, but Qadsiah sense they've got to go to the high ground. They've got to deal with this Crazy Raccoon backline. And Shu, with waiting arms here and a grenade, Lip does find the connection onto Kellex on the rotate. Landon is low, and this Sim TP map flip has already kind of gone bad. Big day from Shu. Ziad does find one trade. Just one more trade would be enough to break this hold, but maybe they won't be able to find it. Yeah, Crazy Raccoon holds strong.
Yes, I mean, it's really hard. That sucks there for Landon, as it's really difficult, right? Once you lose that Lucio, even though you have that Sim TP, right? It's already down. You can't kind of replace it. And then without the speed, especially playing this type of comp, there's no way to get out of the way. You see Chorong there just using that 3P of the Brig with the shield up to see around that corner, being able to have Shu line up these nades.
Shu dropping down, going deep. He's into the back line. Nade goes wide. Dodge by Landon. Sleep onto Labno, but the drone is good. Keeps Qadsiah alive. Max trying to punish for kills, trying to clean this one up. But the trades have already come in. This is getting scrappy. Qadsiah starting to roll the cart. Pressure on for Crazy Raccoon. They need to close this fight out fast. You cannot give up too much card time here. Landon tangoing on the high ground, fearless in the face of Lip.
Yeah, and they also lose Shu though, right? So you lose a lot of the healing for CR. So it feels like Qadsiah now with Ziad off of the spawn. You need to try and capitalize this. And guess what, Jake? Everybody on CR kind of makes it around the corner, back towards their more preferred defensive setup here, and Shu's back in the fight.
Very disciplined from Crazy Raccoon. Max is in the corner, but remember, he's got that annihilation. Nano comes in onto Lip with the overclock. Strikes from behind. Cleaning up one. Can't get connections. Labda too clean with the movements, but it's just not enough. The ultimates are overwhelming, and a nice delay onto Ziad, further bleeding out this block. CR gonna wait him out, send him off the edge of the map. Extra clean. Oh my. All right, he's saying, I'm pretty sure he was trying to get under Ziad's feet and prevent him from going off the map. That is like another level of optimizing the stagger.
As that is Lip with the overclock there. Also gets the nano. He basically dives right into Landon's Ant Matrix, and it just does not matter. He comes up with 3. Max ends up using the Annihilation to keep like in a Nemesis form rolling, allowing to kind of get that block.
Big damage, rally aggressive. Crazy Raccoon strike first. Qadsiah did not see that coming. And Crazy Raccoon wiped the floor with the defenders. That late kill onto Shu, though, is crucial. The fact that Lab defines that gives Qadsiah a power play on this offense. With only 1 minute on the clock, it looks bad with the ultimate bank so strong for Qadsiah.
Yeah, and I think Heesang was actually thinking about using the dupe going over the top of the building, but didn't even need to use it in that situation. Sound barrier there, just trying to keep Landon alive.
Has to copy the bat. But once again, the tempo is overwhelming. Crazy Raccoon smothering these attackers. A copy Baptiste. An Ant Matrix comes in, keeping Max fighting in the flank. Heesang doing the most in this fight. Qadsiah, the ultimate from Siad, though, does keep them fighting, and Max eventually goes down, but the damage is done. This is nothing close to a clean offense. Checkmate, forced into an anti-aircraft position, not where he wants to be, but manages to get enough damage in. Still, once again, the tempo from Crazy Raccoon is dominating Qadsiah. They're just not in this fight.
And I mean, we are below 15 seconds on the clock. No support ults available here for Qadsiah. Chorong over to the Wuyang, so a lot of extra poke damage coming on through.
Bar comes out for Heesang. Overclock, this has to be big. Labda, the world on his shoulders, opens it up. What can he find? Looking first for the flank, sends a rail to Lip, but Lip peeks back around the corner. Another connection is good. Checkmate with the stim wall, stabilizing, buying space for the moment. The cart continues to be pressure. Max has to hold these down. Nano available for Shu. It's giving it to Max with the annihilation of the cart. You cannot back down. And Qadsiah being sent packing. Max still healthy, cleaning this cart off. And Qadsiah failed to cap first. Crazy Raccoon holds strong.
Yikes.
The tempo, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a different kind of Crazy Raccoon. I mean, this is maybe what we've grown to love about them.
Right.
But we have seen Qadsiah tear apart team after team.
I know.
Look impossible to play this way against.
But for Qadsiah, this is brutal because you end up having that really horrific loss to Falcons in the finals of the midseason championship. And then you kind of come back here, you're still clicking on all cylinders, you go up against Crazy Raccoon, and then like to potentially be staring down the barrel of the same fate. I mean, that is a gut punch. That is like everything we've worked for has gone for nothing. I mean, they need an unbelievable defensive hold here for Qadsiah to take this map, in which is most certainly a must-win scenario, right? You cannot afford to go down 2-0 to a team like Crazy Raccoon. But Jake, I mean, they have played this perfectly.
It can be done. We've seen it on Shambali Monastery. And I think a team like Qadsiah, they know that there still are win conditions on this map. I think Crazy Raccoon have no illusions. This won't be a free win. They have to work hard, even just to cap this first point. Without the venture, Heesang on the Echo on offense is going to have a much more difficult time, I think, finding his way into the back line. But he's managed to do it time and time again already on Shambali. We talked about this. What an incredible test Shambali Monastery would be for Max. And he's been passing with flying colors.
Oh, without a doubt.
He might be deathless. Maybe one death?
Yeah, I think it's one. I think it's one. So they'll actually go with the Chorong on the Wuyang and the Ana backline again. Dude, the amount of just poke damage from this team, like the heroes for Crazy Raccoon, is insane.
Yeah.
Like every time Qadsiah is like about to try and go take the fight, I mean they're like half HP before they even kick off.
TP into the backline, aggression from the defenders. Checkmate left. Shu stays fighting. Ziad though, getting the better of this fight. It's gonna send Heesang packing. Trade on the Kellex is nice, but this Lucio should be back fast. So Qadsiah getting the better of this first fight. It's a crucial engagement, one that lets them start to build towards some of these ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, right, you get Landon, and that forces Qadsiah all the way back as Kellex, he'll be able to speed himself back into the fight rather quickly and not relying on him for, a ton of HPS output. So, see now as Heesang takes another off angle here.
Shu has the cooldowns, looking for the chance to nade. Qadsiah have to be so careful. Lifted many a trophy in the past. A fake TP, just speeding forward, but Heesang punishes. Nade is good, and Qadsiah, the aggression is punished. Max does drop, but there's still 4 CR players alive. They're cleaning this one up and refusing to give any trades. CR on the cusp of capping map 2, on defeating Qadsiah in their stronghold, in their best map, with their preferred style.
Jake, and Heesang is just farming here on the Echo, already with a dupe. A few great options here to get a duplicate here and just close out map number 2. I mean, another yet dominant performance here from Crazy Raccoon.
He's pulling so much attention. and they're still not doing enough to deal with him. He finds Labda. Soldiers traded off the map. CR happy to play down to the low numbers. Nano available for Shu, copied Baptiste. I think a missed copy there, but he may still be able to make it work. A lot of resources here to be deployed on the team. Drone a little bit late to save Shu, and hold on, Qadsiah finding the backline, clinging on with tooth and nail into this fight. He's saying with the copy, Nano onto Max, trying to just do the damage, get these punches connected, but checkmate trades. Now just 2 players alive on the defense. Can they deal with the Sumatra? Very little card time to yield here. Kellex caught in the Ravenous Vortex, in trouble, 92% to an annihilation. Hold on, Max is low. Labda forced into a desperation overclock. Has to buy this time. Ziad is back, and so the hold's starting to look good, but CR have a fight to be had. Max forced it around. Annihilation on the point. Checkmate pops the stim wall, cutting Max off from any support, but he still gets that title blast, still charging forward into the Qadsiah backline. They just can't help the team. OC Pop, Lip, steps up to the plate as he has done time and time again. Swings, a miss, another Ziad in his face. He can't get connections. Qadsiah holds for the moment. Still, players alive for CR, fusing to back out. Ziad with the pistol, kills Tseng.
Yeah, but they still haven't gotten rid of Max. Max being kept alive here by the supports of Crazy Raccoon. It's going to be very difficult to dislodge him, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
He's so healthy, but Landon is stunning, finding the kill. Hold on. From the grasp of defeat. It's Qadsiah snatching this one away. CR drained of ultimates. They were so close to victory. They could taste it, they could smell it, but Lip, he couldn't connect the rails.
I mean, that is an insane hold from Qadsiah. Now we're below 40 seconds, Shake. This is so winnable here for Qadsiah. We completely change the tune of the series if they're able to steal this.
Still, this is Crazy Raccoon we're talking about. They never give up. They play until the very end. Qadsiah, they have every advantage in this fight.
Matrix here.
They should be able to close it, but will they? Shu with the nade, Nano boost to be online in this team fight. Looking for something, looking for anything. They need a hero. But Qadsiah are giving them no openings. Ziad, oppressive. Thinking about a possibility to get aggressive. Somebody has to touch the card here. They're keeping the OG rolling. Max, overwhelmed by damage. Shu is down. No Nano onto the field, and Qadsiah snatched this map back. We said it'd be difficult for them to finish, and they don't even make it. Qadsiah somehow, some way, clawed this back to a 1-1 series. They are not out of this fight, Matt.
What a hold from Qadsiah. And honestly, Jake, they probably had to feel on the defensive side, like our tournament is basically on this defense.
It was.
Like,
we talked about them not facing adversity. Talk about adversity right here, Matt.
Like
Qadsiah come out.
If we do not get this hold on defense, we are in a absolutely brutal spot in this series. We then have to kind of stay around, play a loser match later today. And I mean, look at that. If I just showed you these stats, you would be like, there's no way Crazy Raccoon lost this map. Like, I mean, just look at how brutal some of the stat lines are.
I mean, it was
for the folks on Qadsiah.
It was a crushing defense. And honestly, I don't think Qadsiah came that close to some of these team fights on the attack, but close only gets you so far. It doesn't get you all the way. Someone has to get it over the line. And
that is.
We need Ziad gets DMA'd, and with the Baby Diva pistol,
takes out
Tseng, one of the best Echo players in the world. Lip getting kind of schmooved on Sojourn in that final fight as well.
Well, even like they were never even able to really get rid of Max at all.
Yeah.
And for some, like they were just never able. It was like Landon and Kellex and Labda. They were never able to kind of get down to those plays. I mean, dude, Landon gets down to like 40 HP.
Yeah. Landon gets, I think, a 3K on the final defensive hold. Let's check the highlight here. Look at this. Perfect optimization. Doing everything for the team. Keeping his Sojourn alive. Sticking on into this fight. Killing Shu.
Dude.
That headshot is for his life.
13 HP. Dodging the shot from Chorog as well. I mean, Landon just putting in work. I mean, he dies there to any of those.
Could be over.
And it could very well be over. As I mean, Qadsiah, they need a break after that one. I mean, that one is a nail biter. And they tie up the series here. So now we get a CR map pick. What do you do? So would they go New Queen Street to try and play some type of like aggressive style of
Wouldn't
play?
mind it. Wouldn't
where
mind
you
it
could play like Ball or Doom or something along those lines?
I mean, it's a pretty open pick here for Crazy Raccoon. I think picking on Hybrid also has you could block King's Row, right? So that's pretty powerful. However, I think it's also a very good point. I mean, New Queen Street is a great dive map. We've seen a lot of teams try to go there It is also a pretty decent sim map.
Yep.
You have the power, though, to open with the sim ban here.
The gap
for
is
Crazy
closed.
Raccoon.
The gap's closed.
I mean, all right.
It's over. It's over. Back
This
it up.
series is kind of making
No.
It's kind of making the argument.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think EMEA has stepped up in a massive way this year. Speaking to Alcad, NTM, a lot of it was credited even to Junkbuck just being a coach in the region, right? And just kind of, getting these teams. Okay, so we're both wrong. So Surabasa. So
okay,
it's an interesting pick. I do think I agree with you after I said New Queen Street. Being able to select like a Blizzard World and then blocking the potential for a King's Row would have been quite huge there for CR, because then you would have forced Alcad to probably go, what, Runasapi, and then, take your pick on the flashpoint. So they actually go to Surabasa here. I wonder if we see Junbin come back in for, Junbin come in for Max.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way. This is also a map where Max could look very effective on the Zarya. The big question in my mind is, will Crazy Raccoon deploy the sim ban here or save it for a potential map 5? Because you will get another preferred pick in this, or first ban in this series, right? If the series does go the distance, you could save the sim ban for a later map in the pool. If you want, you could save it maybe for that final map. However, I think Crazy Raccoon, they really want to get a win now. The question is, can you deal with the sim on this map? Can you deal with Checkmate's signature hero? They let it through. Ooh. Full confidence. And instead they target Ziad with the Diva ban.
Ziad looked pretty good on the Ram. I mean, it's not his best hero. His best hero is the Diva, by far.
The Diva has, I think, the carry potential, right? Where he can get in lip space. I mean, he's just smothering lips, smothering Heesang.
The Wu Young ban is a good one too, though, for Alcad.
Yeah.
Like we have
Showdown has been using it very well to put the pressure on Qadsiah to force them into maybe some hasty moves.
Here on Surabasa, there is a lot of like really good high ground, short high ground potential across some of the points that the Diva is really good on.
Yeah, Diva has looked very strong here.
So does this get us into Ram and Zarya, I feel like, as the tanks here?
I feel like this puts us into kind of a Ram mirror, which may be what Crazy Raccoon want.
They do have a Venture available, right? So the Venture was gone in the last map. So potentially an option to bring in Venture here as well for CR.
In the end, though, I think Qadsiah are going to be feeling pretty good, right? Like, yeah, you've made Ziad get off D, but we've been talking about Ziad all year long. What makes him so good isn't just his immaculate Diva performances, it's his flexibility. I mean, he's looked good on everything that we have seen him play. And so the Diva ban, for me, is interesting. I think it's more of a Crazy Raccoon saying, look, we will dominate you on DPS. If you get this Diva out of my face, I'm going to take over the server. And honestly, with a guy like Lip on your team, hard to disagree with that. However, Qadsiah, they're going to get to play the sim, the Lucio, the looks that they've really cut their teeth on in EMEA, what got them to second place in the midseason championship. And so CR doing a dance with the devil
I would say, if you are Qadsiah, and let's say you're able to win this map, right? Like, outside of the sim, all the other scary bans are kind of gone.
That's the thing for CR. There's an argument to be made that you save the sim ban for, in theory, a map 5. If you can win this map, the problem is you have to gamble at some point. You have to deal with the sim on one more map this series, and they're just choosing to do it now, to choose the location on which they take that contest, and it'll be Surabasa.
Yeah, and I think if you're Qadsiah, right, obviously you take some of the momentum off of the last map into this next one, and if you can win it here, get it to series point, that forces that sim out for that 4th game. So I kind of alluded to maybe we see Junbin come in for Max, and we do here.
Is this going to be a Winston look? Or some sort of dive? Maybe, I mean, honestly, maybe the Doom.
Are they going to bring back the Doom?
Like, the Doom, it kind of tore them apart on Busan. I mean, remember, Junbin was bomb camping on Busan. Like, that's quickly forgotten, given the magnitude of the hold Qadsiah just pulled off.
There was no Ramatra in the first map, though.
True.
Like,
True.
The Ramatra can't really, it's not like a... I mean, Ramatra is kind of like a one-spot-fit-all type of tank, right? He has a little bit of everything. So, like, the Doom just kind of diving in constantly, like, you're going to be able to throw down that Vortex, like, almost on top of your own TPs,
I think
right?
Zarya also dominates Doomfist, typically.
Yeah,
like, Zarya bubbles, I mean, Doom's ult, right, is incredibly telegraphed, easy to bubble at this level. A Graviton Surge, denying Doom his mobility, turns into a very easy kill in a lot of scenarios. As soon as he pops that block, he's in real trouble. So I'm kind of surprised with the strategic decisions here from Crazy Raccoon, but honestly, that's been the calling card of this team.
Well,
they play their own way.
It also feels like for CR, right? With some of that extra poke damage taken out of the backline with the Wuyong gone in the D.Va that they ban, you are banking on Lip having a crazy game here.
Yeah.
On Surabasa. Like, if Lip doesn't have a crazy game, I mean, you're probably, what, Chorong is going to play Brig here, maybe? Lucio, so you're going to lose some of that, like, nasty Wuyong poke. You're relying on that hit scan player for Crazy Raccoon, Lip, who's come through time and time again.
He has, right?
To have another one of those wild games.
I mean, Lip's been that player a million times before, right? He's been called in this kind of a scenario to take over a game and provide those once-in-a-lifetime performances. For Lip, it's more like once a week.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, this is Qadsiah we're talking about. They will not make it easy. They will not back down. They were taking the fight straight to Lip. And that Shambali defense, I mean, Lip had his chances. He couldn't close it out.
I do wonder as well, we talk about the now like a momentum high here for Qadsiah.
Yeah.
A brutal loss like that for CR on the verge of going up 2-0. I mean, that is something that rarely happens to them. I'm curious how they mentally kind of bounce back.
It's going to be a test, right? CR has been tested quite a few times this year. Can they rise through that adversity? Losing a map that you felt like you could just taste the victory on. Junbin hovering the Winston here. I'll believe it when I see it, but honestly, I think it's really the pick that Junbin can bring out in this matchup. You ban the D.Va, that does give Winston theoretically a winning matchup against Zarya, but I mean, the damage from especially Symmetra, Cassidy, I mean, Junbin will just get cooked in 2 seconds if he steps out of line.
Yeah, you imagine, as it'll be Echo here for Heesang. Gets the TP out of the spawn, so a Lucio Kiri matchup in the backline for both sides. The Winston gonna have a really tough time, I think, diving into the backline. Dealing with that Sim, dealing with the Cassidy, both with Zarya bubbles. Lip just trying to get himself a good line of sight.
Junbin has lost his armor. He's backing down off the point. Zarya also dropping. So Ziad finding himself in an awkward spot, but Junbin, you do not want to take that head-on fight. Chorong gets incredibly low. Lip goes down. Qadsiah getting the first blood on this map. TP to the high ground, instant taken by Qadsiah. They're stepping up to the plate here. And Junbin struggling. I mean, he can't fight. There's so much damage in this comp.
No,
he gets rolled over. The cleanse is too late from Shu.
And we talk about D.Va, on this map, right? D.Va gets banned, but D.Va being able to control some of these high ground setups. When you have the TPs of the Sim, everybody can control that high ground, and you get that Zarya
They're going in.
80 charged up to that high ground. Very difficult to dislodge, and you see how aggressive Qadsiah looks to be here.
And Checkmate is so fearless on this Symmetra. Has a very confident read on this matchup. Wants to take a fight to Crazy Raccoon. Do not give Lip the space to work with. Heesang finds, Heesang rather, Lip finds the instant connection, and without the Sim, the TP no longer a factor. Rush pop landed. Refuses to back down in this fight. Still committing. Junbin goes down. And Lab, are free firing here on the rush. No counter ult. They didn't expect that Lab could have it up in this fight. What an incredible build.
I mean, he gets that rush up so fast. It catches Crazy Raccoon off guard, and you do not want to play as a Winston into a almost fully charged Zarya and Cassidy inside of a Kitsune rush. It is a death trap there as Qadsiah looks like they're in a great spot to take this first one. Junbin just gets deleted moving on in.
Yeah, I mean, no hope on the Winston. I mean, he's 50 to Primal, man. He just got destroyed on this first round. And now he's going to be sweating because what is the next pick for Junbin? I mean, I think he's stuck on this Winston, and I don't see it really working in this comp. It's up to Heesang and Lip. Oh, Heesang stealthy behind, looking for something. They don't see him coming. Sticks from behind, now reveals his position. But Qadsiah have stepped up to the point, trying to force this cap. The speed boost is good, touchdown. Heesang, Checkmate marks that flanker. The point opening in 10. Lip strikes back onto Kelix though. It's a 4-on-4, still a fight to be had for Crazy Raccoon. They need to keep this one going.
I mean, Kelix had beat there, Jake. That would have been huge here for this fight potentially, but still,
big grab.
Who is going to challenge Ziad on the point?
It's good enough from Ziad. Takes down the high ground, punishes the backline, finds exactly the targets he's looking for. And frankly, from CR, the gamble does not seem to be working, but it looks incredibly hard.
How did they not expect this, though?
To be honest, we've seen things like this before from Crazy Raccoon. Some wonky picks, some wild bans, confidence in strategies that no one else plays. In fairness, They have made it work before. They have made me a believer when I doubted them the most, so I won't give up faith just yet. CR, 5 ultimates. Let's see the vision. Qadsiah have 4 to match, and the defender's advantage. Very even fight, and an opening beat from Chorong very early. Kellex, drastically stronger, responsive beat. The Qadsiah, already 50 grab with the perk. He's saying, looking to get that charged up, TP away. Nothing left to counter the grab. Shoots it into the choke, does get the odds. Has bubbles, has a beautiful stim wall. Checkmate protects his team. Primal forced out. The
Deadeye.
Still in control, and that Deadeye TP by 2! And once again, CR had every tool, and they cannot find this fight. Beautiful movements from Qadsiah. Every tool used to perfection, and now Shu, staggered on point, takes 2 for his trouble.
You're not going to get another.
They don't have a touch.
You are not going to get another fight. Great ultimate usage there out of Qadsiah. Kellex to the last minute holds on to that sound barrier. Lands it perfectly. Ziad gets caught in the grab there from Heesang, and it is a great Simwall Kitsune rush. Some healing there for Landon. As Qadsiah up 2-0 fast here on Surabasa. A Crazy Raccoon map pick.
Lip needs to open this one strong. Beautiful bubble from Ziad. Blocks all the poke on the cross. Qadsiah staying healthy. Crazy Raccoon take the fight to them. A beautiful landing right on Landon's head. Takes down the support for Qadsiah, and finally Crazy Raccoon find a dominant fight. And without deploying ultimates at that.
Yeah, it feels like they got a little bit of better position there. Backed Qadsiah into a corner, and the kill on the Landon first, just from the jump there from Junbin is huge. It's something that Crazy Raccoon, you needed a fight here to stop the bleeding, so to speak, because it seemed like Qad was going to run away with this one. So now, yeah, Qadsiah doesn't really have much to work with here, Jake.
They need a few more like that, Matt. Different approach this time from Qadsiah. The choke, they take tons of damage. Lip standing tall, not backing down. But Ziad steps through the choke, Junbin is down. Qadsiah low on multiple players. Ziad, 1 HP, but the bubble keeps him up. Chorong finally cleans him up. It's a 3-on-3. Deathmatch for the supports. Lucio right up in the mix, but Landon finds Shu. Supports from Qadsiah keeping each other alive. He's staying in the sky. Finding purchase on this Echo. Spawner's gonna be coming back in soon, and Crazy Raccoon may have just barely done enough.
Yeah, I mean, you just have Landon and Checkmate there, and they don't really have anything to do with Heesang while he's up in the sky, but it's going to be Qadsiah back into the fight quick. They're going to have a grab.
Has the copy, takes it onto the Zarya. Can he get the bubble to Junbin? No! Failed communication, he doesn't peek for the bubble, and now Heesang on the copy. Zarya just barely gets the grab up in time. Maybe can combo it himself with the bubble. Clean for now, keeps Checkmate alive. Chorong finds a couple, forced into a grab. Ziad feels a little bit desperate to find these cleanup kills. Chorong in the back finds another, and this Lucio Ecto are getting active here. Still high energy Zarya up for desperation beat. Okay, Chorong needs this point win. Kellex, a one-man beat. No value from that. Qadsiah then packing, and Crazy Raccoon make a statement here on this third flashpoint.
Dude, that beat, man. I mean, Kellex tries to use the beat to maybe try and keep Ziad and Checkmate up to match and fight. And that is a sad one, man. Just a solo beat there as some players die. So although Chorong ends up using his beat as well, connects with Junbin and Heesang coming back to the point. Still now, CR starting to gain some confidence.
Junbin in deep. No primal pop just yet, only the rush, but it seems to be enough. He's cleaning up this main group from Qadsiah. Rush deployed from Landon there. Not much to be said about the fight. Checkmate finds a little bit of damage, but it's just not enough. The cleanup on these low numbers is so good for Crazy Raccoon. And once again, it's Junbin taking down the backline. Without Landon, you don't have anyone to sustain this very heal-reliant comp. So once again, targeting that support. Landon under immense pressure right now in the series.
And then now, with Heesang here, right, you're going to have this dupe, you're going to have Primal. Immense survivability. Oh, that is actually a jump though from Junbin now. He's going to have to go back to the rest of the squad.
Oh, what a burst. Copy Lucio just to stay alive. Heesang could get the beat here. Doesn't quite get it online. Grab. No connection there. Oh, grabs his jaw, just putting down the damage. Primal is good from Junbin. And it's enough to hold on to this point. So, okay, Crazy Raccoon pulling this map back. Finally, perks online. Seem to have activated this composition, and Qadsiah, the trademark aggression from the first 2 points, feels lost.
And it feels like they need to kind of maybe get a TP to the point. Brawl out there with the Cassidy. You'll end up getting this sound barrier a little bit faster here as well. TP straight across.
Oh, man. TPing into Crazy Raccoon. This time it feels like desperation.
It feels like they're getting sloppy.
Lips up to a 15 streak. I will say this checkpoint going to Crazy Raccoon is good, but it's gonna come down to the final rounds as maybe we should have always expected between these two teams. Crazy Raccoon have nothing in the tank, but neither do Qadsiah. 86 to Kelix's beat is their closest ultimate, but he has to bridge that gap, and you better believe Crazy Raccoon is going to keep the gas down.
I mean, this first fight is enormous here.
Lip.
And they find Lip. I mean, that is as good as you could ask for there. For Qadsiah, they TP, they catch Lip off guard there, and they finish him off. That's exactly what they needed here to kick off this final flashpoint.
Ziad getting torqued up here, has the energy. Gotta be careful on Junbin. This Winston could be a vulnerable target. Support ults online, though. This could go down into a very deep fight. Qadsiah happy to have point control, though. Dominating the angles for now. Junbin just playing that corner. He stays incredibly low. It's a force beat from Crazy Raccoon. Better beat from Kelix. The grab from Ziad stifles the aggression, but the rush keeps everybody alive. Still a fight to be had on the point. Ziad looking to find damage, looking to connect the kills. Labda, though, is doing it all. Finds 2. And as the rushes expire, player advantage for Qadsiah. They look to step up. The flip comes in for CR, but will he saying rip the copy? Yes, he will. Refusing to back down. Bubbles deploy. A better rush out from Landon, and this should break the back of Raccoon. Ziad stepping up full energy. Cleans up, he's saying. Sends him backing. Labda looking for more. And they get the flip back. The eventual fight win.
Yeah, Qadsiah actually never gets control of the point first here. It's actually somehow Crazy Raccoon, they are actually able to use that rush, push them back, get control. But Landon, such great patience, saves his Kisune rush. Heesang's got the dupe, comes on in. And that is the thing that turns the tide as Qadsiah takes the lead on this final flashpoint.
It has to be Junbin with the Primal Rage. Steps up to the plate. TP behind him. They're ignoring this Winston. They're trying to pick up the rest of his team. What is he going to do with this Primal? Just forcing the cap, trust his team to stay alive, and they manage to pass that test. Cleanse is good, keeps Ziad alive, but the Primal chases down after the Zarya. Support's doing immaculate work to keep him alive. Labda on the point with the high noon, takes down 1. Now putting the damage into this monkey, and Junbin, feeling the pressure, cannot go in again. It has to be a fast reset for the Raccoons.
No, and like, Junbin can't sit there on the point and just fight Ziad one-on-one. That is a battle that the Zarya will win every single time, as he's saying with a desperation swap here over to the Pharah. Potentially final fight. Qadsiah with a
Lip.
chance to put themselves on game point. Lip finds Kelix.
We talked about him delivering in his team's time of need. Qadsiah trying to just get out of this in the TP, just barely in the nick of time. A very fast reset for Qadsiah, and they're going to be happy about this. This is final fight. Crazy Raccoon, they cannot yield this point, and they have no ults to work with. It should be all Qadsiah.
Yeah, and it was the overclock used there, right? So the overclock now is gone. Checkmate's going to have this big sim wall, can, in theory, get you to the point in double support ult. I mean, this is Qadsiah's game to lose right here. Oh.
The clock runs down. The crowd goes wild. They want Lip to do more. And only the spawn doors will protect Qadsiah for now. Still, another tough challenge. Crazy Raccoon, another hurdle to jump. Qadsiah with the full bank of ultimates about to step up.
You cannot blow this if you're Qadsiah. How important this map is in the series with the advantages you have at the moment.
Junbin, he chased that TP. That's going to give Qadsiah a huge presence on the point. Rush available for Landon. How do you fight through it? He's going to play it, forcing this cap. Symbol as well, the beat through. Crazy Raccoon chooses to dive in. Qadsiah with the response to beat. Ziad finds 1. He's got the grab as well. It's enough. Qadsiah. 2 kills on the deck. The grab onto the Lucio. And it's good. Qadsiah go up 2-1 in the series. Snatching back the advantage. Refusing to yield.
It goes all the way down to the wire. Honestly, Jake, there's a little bit inside me. I was like, they are going to fumble this right now, man. I was like, we've seen this story before, but Qadsiah, obviously much different here today. They find themselves 1 map away from taking this series versus Crazy Raccoon. As I think a lot of people will probably have questions of like the Winston into the Zarya, the entire map. Sure, they take 2 points there on this flashpoint, but it wasn't exactly easy as we take a look at some of the stats here. Lip and Labda, those are the 2 I'm looking at, right? We were talking about how Lip had to have this crazy game. He has a very good game, but Labda's able to match it.
He could ask for, right?
Yeah, but Labda's able to match on the other side. And when you get that type of hit scan where it kind of goes even across the board, and you're at what I think most would say is a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of comps and how you're playing into this, that's how you're going to see an Qadsiah win.
I got to be real with you, man. I'm impressed that CR can make this as close as it was. For me, this is actually a pretty big comp gap. Historically, Winston has been considered a Zarya counter, but when you bring in Cassidy and Symmetra, the overwhelming single target damage onto that Winston, it's incredibly difficult to fight through that. It's incredibly hard to play for Junbin. I mean, you don't even have the mobility advantage on Winston. You're being TP'd on, you're being speed boosted on. And the whole time, there's these so many huge threats you have to worry about. Every time you drop a bubble, you're giving Checkmate of all people a full energy Symmetra. I mean, that's a dangerous game to be playing.
Well, I mean, full energy Sim, and then also, like, Ziad felt like he was mostly high energy for that entire game. And then now I think, obviously, this proves a really weird spot for CR because, look, they haven't banned the Sim just yet, right? But then if you ban it here in this fourth game, you don't have it for that game 5, like we talked about. So a massive decision, I think, coming up here for Crazy Raccoon.
I mean, they had to take the gamble at some point, right? Because, you know, looking ahead to this map, you could have opened that ban, but you choose not to. You choose to save it for later. We're going to head it over to the desk and have them break down some of the decision-making as we go into the rest of this series.
And man, is there a lot to break down. Yeah, Arrow's getting ready to dive into this one because we got to talk about map 1. Let's roll it back. A rollout on Reinhardt. Yes, that did happen. It was not a fever dream.
Fan service!
Yeah, fans around the world were cheering. I was at the very front of that. And then finishing it off on Doom, looking so competent. Like, what are they cooking?
Yeah, so I think what this is a read coming from Crazy Raccoons thinking we're going to play the Ryan into the Zarya, one of the classic Zarya counters. You can play into it. You're on towards Mecha base as well. It's where Ryan is actually going to be good. You've also got the Lucio banned out, so that might just weaken the side of Qadsiah. It's part of their core Lucio Kiriko combo in the backline. But the Ryan just doesn't work on that first fight at all. There's a Bastion there that I don't think Crazy Raccoon were really expecting. But what's really uniquely good into a Sim Bastion is actually a Doom. I don't know that Crazy Raccoon really planned the Doom, but the Doom was just in the moment like, hang on a minute, Junbin's one of the best Doom players in the world. Doom's not particularly good in the meta, however, you're good enough, and you have the right match, and you play directly into Sim Bastion, that works. You go into round 2, the Doom worked out really well for you the first round. Bring it back around, see if it works again, pretty good storm to the Sim, and then they dominate that second round spawn camp. Kiss the spawn doors challenge complete, by the way, 100-0 on round 2.
Just watching back some of these highlights before you get to that part, I mean, a huge part of this success for Crazy Raccoon was also just the fact that they were able to get D.Va out of mech so many times from Ziad and then just absolutely stagger. And so Junbin really comes out on top in that matchup. I think the Doomfist was an amazing pocket pick for him to be able to show that he has a lot more versatility outside of just the heroes that we know him for. And so if you can come out with more explosive things, Doomfist, I think the Wu Yong from Chorong was also a really big standout.
And by the way, this is Crazy Raccoon's map choice. They could have opted for Ilios if they really wanted to play dive. We already saw them come through the Winston eventually, but then, you know, got to talk about the fact that that was still a big struggle into the Zarya of Ziad. So it is interesting that they opted for Busan first and foremost, which you would have probably thought could have been a Max map. Then Max actually does come and doesn't win his map.
Yeah, I also want to highlight Lip here. Lip ducks, as per usual. No, it's like just standout performances from our 6'7" gaming warlord, right? Like as we
8'9". Everyone gets it wrong. It's 8'9".
No, I actually made like a Gen something reference here. I don't understand actually the reference that I'm making.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know if I used it correctly in a sentence, but you know we'll find out. Twitter will let me know, I'm sure. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Lip's performance there throughout this series already, especially highlighted, of course, in that last map we just saw. But very early on, it kind of doesn't even matter what Junbin is rolling out. Like if Lip pops off, like he's taken over the server.
Yeah, Lip was definitely a huge part of this Busan win for Crazy Raccoon, and you saw him try to repeat that success both on Shambali Monastery as well as Suravasa. But I think one of the issues that you end up running into is just the fact that, as Jake was touching on before we ended up getting the throw to the desk, is you have this Symmetra that's really throwing a wrench into the works. Sojourn only has so many options to be able to kite away from damage. You get 1 power slide, you know, 2, I guess, if with a perk or whatever, but it's very limited in terms of the window that you can utilize that.
The way I see this now is you have to really question whether Crazy Raccoon can continue playing Junbin in this matchup unless Junbin's going to come through on the ramp. I know they did lose the Shambali with Max in. You're kind of running out of options. When Qadsiah is up 2 maps now, and one of those maps is on the Shambali against Max, and one of them is on the Suravasa against Junbin. So you tried the Winston versus Zarya. That doesn't work out for you. In fact, Qadsiah looked like, despite the fact that Crazy Raccoon did have a couple rounds in there, I thought Qadsiah still had majority control on that particular map, and then Shambali ends way too quickly. I mean, I know a lot of teams get held on first on Shambali, but man, Qadsiah really play well on that map, and in the driver's seat now on their way to maybe getting their first win against a Korean team.
This would be a huge moment for them. We already talked about heading into this series that Qadsiah has been unable to do what even one of their EMEA counterparts has been able to do, Twisted Minds. So I think this would really put Qadsiah in a position where they can be a favorite to actually win the entire thing. And I love that we get a chance to see Qadsiah be able to stand tall against one of these Korean teams. And I think it'll be fun to continue to watch this matchup between Junbin and Ziad.
Yeah, and I mean, on map 3, right, we talked about those compositions we saw. The Winston matchup into that Zarya matchup. And somehow, some way, Qadsiah is taking that with Ziad's performance on that Zarya.
Well, it's really similar to what we saw out of the Qadsiah Weibo game, where even in a more extreme fashion, not only do you have the Winston from Gushui, which is really should be top 2 wins in the world, also on Ilios with a D.Va ban as well. So you also had that very similar situation where Zarya's even worse on Ilios. And Qadsiah, they beat Weibo on that same map, and now they beat Crazy Raccoon on Survasa against another one of the top Winstons in the world. And so it's like, I don't think you can play the Winston into Qadsiah anymore. I don't think Winston's at a good place in the meta anyway. It really just proves that main tank is probably just not it currently for this competition. We're really in an off-tank meta. Ziad is proving why that is.
You say that as if this is like... that matters. Like, Doom is also not meta right now. They're clearly making it work.
I think that was a surprise. I don't know, 2 in a row.
I mean, Doom is always a
a
surprise.
good
Doom is a
counter-
vibe hero. Like,
Yeah,
because
so
that one,
true.
you kind of
Like,
feel
Doom
it in the
shows up.
moment.
Doom shows up unexpected, and
Exactly.
your house is in an order. It's not tidy. Give me a second here.
Like,
But
that
no,
one disappears.
the rocket punch just comes at you.
What do you want to see in map 4 then?
I think you do need to go back to the Ram here. I think you kind of forget about Shambali. It was close enough that it was still winnable. Go back to Max. Go back to the Ram style. That is probably the best direction for you, or at least minimum matchup on the Zarya. That's one of Max's good specialist heroes as well. So I think, we've seen what Ziad can do. You want to believe that Max can do the same. You brought Max in and trusted in Max during the final versus Falcons just in Korea not that long ago in a 7-map series. And Max, the closer, he won that map 7 and he beat Falcons. Now you have to trust that he can beat Qadsiah.
Just don't go to King's Row. Crazy Raccoon, please. Don't go to King's Row.
Why?
They just have a bad record on that map. If you look at how they performed in the last stage, I think like maybe there's like mental damage there or something. But it's possible. Go to a hybrid, maybe even, I think Midtown might even be a nice choice there to see. And that way you actually take out Blizzard World from the pool as well if Ziad wants to continue to play the D.Va. And then you're not forced to actually have to play the Winston.
What do you want to see out of Qadsiah then?
More Symmetra. Keep doing it. It's working. And I think that has been a huge key to success for Qadsiah. It's clearly been the big thorn into the Winston side. So I think they just need to keep on with what they've been working on throughout the course of the season, and it will bring them success.
Well, let's find out what our teams have in store for us as we are sending it back over to Matt and Jake.
Thank you so much, Zoe, and the desk. And I think, Matt, I think Rose is right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No.
Run it with this sim. You've been tearing apart the world. Why stop now?
No, I totally agree with Rose. I mean, there is no reason unless the sim is gone for Qadsiah to move away from it.
Which I will say, Matt, if it's not gone on this map, Crazy Raccoon have really, like, they're living up to the name.
So there is an opportunity for them to overcook here, I think.
Matt, there's always an opportunity to overcook.
There's an opportunity here for them to overcook.
What you got?
They could go New Queen Street and think they could play dive, and that they don't need to ban the sim on that map.
If you don't ban sim now, then Qadsiah just DPS ban on map 5, and you can't ban the sim. So
Right.
I think it's almost crazy not to.
So Max coming in here for Junbin. I mean, I agree with you. I think it'd be crazy for them not to.
However,
there is a world in which they overcook and do.
you could pick hybrid and think, okay, we'll have to deal with Runasapi sim. I mean, it's scary because sim is insane on Runasapi. It's very, very strong there. I think it's probably the meta there.
Well, and you've already gotten rid of D.Va for them, right?
Yeah, so what's your ban going to be? I think you do have to sim ban on hybrid here. I think you have to go, I mean, it could be, what are the hybrids we're looking at here? It could be Blizzard World. It's going to be Kings. Maybe Kings with the sim ban could actually look really good for CR.
Yes, that could actually be a really good option. You do leave the Runasapi option available, so they do get rid of the sim. It is a Brig ban
Love
here.
this ban.
So now for Qadsiah, it is clear. You are playing through Ziad's D.Va,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You are relying on Ziad on the D.Va to just dominate the game here and take it over.
And checkmate. You ban the sim away, he gets to spread his wings, show you what he's really got. Because this is a guy that is not a one-trick, that is not reliant on the sim. It's been the team to his the key rather to his team's success. but it's not his best hero by any stretch of the imagination. Checkmate, I think, is maybe hankering for a bit of an honor duel with Heesang.
You know what would be a little bit of a nice wrinkle here for Qadsiah? And we saw it yesterday in some of our games on King's Row, bringing in the Genji.
I like
Checkmate.
I like that. Because,
Bringing in the Genji.
Checkmate has been one of those guys on Genji for years.
Yeah, no.
This is a hero you could take it out of the meta for years, and Checkmate would still be able to come back in and slice and dice with the best of them.
Give them some high ground control, potentially, like on offense, right? Give them some kind of like, big fight winning potential.
And no brig, right?
brig.
No rallies to worry about.
No brig. So the Genji may be an option here for Qadsiah for them to roll with. As we saw Zera play the Genji for TL the other day on this map.
Yeah, Proper also got it out, so it's clearly possible here. We have seen Echo also look strong, and in fairness, that's a tough matchup for Genji, right? The focusing beam cuts through your deflect and can really be in trouble for you. Being able to just copy Genji while he's blading you, it makes it very, very awkward for the matchup.
Here's another one. There's no way they play Rush with a Mei, right?
Hold on. You're cooking.
Hey!
You're cooking. Checkmate's thinking.
People have compared me to Jungbok for years.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Not accurate.
No, he's going to play Tracer. You're wrong.
Okay. Well, hey,
it's a good
you
shout.
could play Mei, though.
Like,
you could play Mei.
I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever, Matt, if the Mei does come out at some point.
More of a second stage than first point here, because you assume that Max is going to pilot the D.Va here as well. So get a chance here. Labda, obviously, a lot of pressure on him here in this series going up against Lip.
Fan support here for Crazy Raccoon. You hear that biting cheer. And Max gonna step up on the Zarya, put the pressure down onto Qadsiah, and with no Sim to worry about, he's gonna have free reign. Qadsiah gonna have to punish these DPS, but it's Lip and Heesang you're talking about. Far from easy catches.
I will say, though, with this Zarya in play for Crazy Raccoon, right, if you're able to take this, now I wouldn't actually be surprised if we see a Mei potentially from Qadsiah. Second part of the round is Checkmate just gets his head ripped off there by Lip.
Just snapping him like a twig, and Ziad trying to mark these DPS, but without Tracer, just feels impossible. Max steps up to the plate, and Qadsiah gonna back off, wait for Checkmate's Tracer, and look for the re-engage. Ziad setting up, though, on the flank. He's gonna walk right up on Shu's Kiriko. And a bit of a slow cap here, so an opportunity for Qadsiah to fight this one out. Recall forced. Great shots from Heesang on the Echo. Camping this high ground, putting down pressure. Wide swing from the DPS now. Ziad steps up, and Max caught in the corner, dropping low. Labda takes him out, but it costs the suit. So there's still fight to be played. Labda can't fight good that under the Lucio. Labda a little bit
needs to
sloppy
find
with
one.
it.
I mean, Heesang's so low there.
He's caught in the disruptor shot, booped in by Kelix. And Ziad remeching, this is huge. Shu goes down, but not before drawing blood. And this Lucio surely dead to rights. Chorong could get a bubble on the exit. Try to play his way out of this, but he's caught in the room alone. Dancing with Ziad at close range. Not where you want to be. Not where you want to be whatsoever. And that's a huge clutch hold from Qadsiah.
Yeah, so Heesang actually now, Jake, goes over to the Tracer. I actually kind of like this for Qadsiah.
I think you need it. I think you need it to be able to tango and just be able to really play the tempo at this level.
Yeah, I just think the Echo was giving Labda a lot of trouble.
What a slide! Huge aggression, the catch shot is good! Bubble is better though, and the cleanse keeps Lip alive. But Labda may have done enough, forced a ton of resources. Rush to play from Shu, very early. Labda with a better response, beautifully positioned from high ground. Lip needs a connection here, has a rail, desperate for a kill. Can't get in a pulse bomb instead, but the cleanse keeps him up. The beat as well. Kelix only 90 to his own.
Self-destruct.
Self-destruct keeps Ziad alive. Delays this one for now. Checkmate goes down, but hold on, Kelix. 98 to the beat. Still in this one as Lip goes down. Ziad almost out of the suit. The beat. It's not enough. Wait, it is. Ziad still in baby form though, and Max healthy. Graviton surge. Very close on the guard. Ziad steps up with the pistol, landing and finds two. Hold on. Somehow. Okay. Surely not. And Crazy Raccoon close out first point, but that is way too close for comfort. Qadsiah showing they have incredible fight to give, even without the Symmetra look.
Yeah, as right there, if that sound barrier's a little bit earlier, then you would have seen Ziad keep the mech. As Ziad switches over to the Ramatra, we see Checkmate go over to the Mei. This is what I was talking about. Let's see how Crazy Raccoon deals with it this second part of the map.
아예 없어서 메이야 메이다. 하나씩으로 이기면 그냥 끝이야. 얘네 2층 같다. 얘네 2층 같은데? 화면에 들어봐. 이거 우리 궁으로 이기면 끝이야 이거. 아니야 소전 루시오 내쪽 있어. 야 버블 되게 나이다. 야 거울 줄래? 야 라마 쳐봐. 기다려 라마 쳐봐.
하기 전에.
매필.
레이더 10, 레이더 10.
야
야, 저 오른쪽 2층에 있다.
봐봐.
오른쪽 2층에 있다, 제가. 나이스.
키리. 라마. 단수 조심.
견 주심. 괜찮아.
에이 아파하지.
맞아봐.
피트장.
나 데려올게. 이러면 얘들아, 궁 여기 하나밖에 안 차거든, 여기.
Clinical fight there from Crazy Raccoon. Heesang calls the bubble, gets Max full charge before that fight. And Max makes it rain there with the Graviton Surge. Qadsiah, no ult in the tank after this comp swap. They would love to pull off a hold here, but surely it looks impossible. Stepping up into a lip overclock. Heesang once again takes the bubble, pulls a distraction into the back line. Landon trying to deal with this flanker, but Heesang fearless, willing to dodge these kunai, willing to dance. Crazy Raccoon continuing to pressure this point. Ziad holding it down as well as he can. Starting to drop low. Form is forced. Wall zones for a moment. Trying to force the point. Lip can't get the connection, but Heesang does. And without Labda, player advantage. They rush. They're not out of it. They're still fighting. Quick cooldown resets. And Qadsiah still healthy as 4. Shu with the counter rush. Much later into the fight. Max fully energized. Cleans up checkmate. And should be finishing off the rest of Qadsiah. Crazy Raccoon, the must-win map. And they force third point.
Jake, it's just that first fight in the second part of the map. You cannot let Crazy Raccoon just snowball you through that part of the map. You keep Max with all that energy here going into that second checkpoint. Now Max up on the high ground here, gets set up. Qadsiah just desperately looking for a fight win. But you're gonna have to deal with this beat from Crazy Raccoon.
Ziad takes down Lip. He pull him off the map there, somehow got that kill. Maybe just a cleanup on someone else's damage, but he'll take it. Without Lip, you see this Zarya comp really needs to back down. No hit scan threat. And Qadsiah wastes no time stepping up to the corner. We've seen many teams crumble in this spot, struggling to turn this objective. Max with the grab again, his charges up incredibly quickly. Qadsiah may not be expecting this to come out so fast, but few easy targets, grab forced, but Ziad takes it, holds it away from the soldier. Get down, Mr. President, and Labda. Makes use of the space, recall out of Heesang. Couple blinks out, may be able to slip away for the moment. But Qadsiah doing that with just the OC and dealing with the grab, that's a beautiful hold.
Yeah, and I mean, the Ramatra is very strong in the grab, right? Can just block, and there with that Mei wall just prevents any damage coming through from Crazy Raccoon. Is Qadsiah, this would be a tremendous hold, give themselves a chance to win the series here on King's Row.
Huge fight on the flank. Checkmate forced into the ice block. Now Landon feels the brunt of the pressure. Later beat from Kellex is huge, but it doesn't come to Landon. He's still low. Heesang trying to punish Hunting. Can't quite get the connection to the high ground. Stays in for now, and Checkmate in the flank is so strong. Labda and Kellex find blood in the fight. And it looks like another cleanup for Qadsiah. Still refusing to yield this corner. Refusing to give anything to Crazy Raccoon.
I mean, this is what I was talking about with those Mei comps. When I was like, oh, maybe we will see Checkmate play Mei. The Mei can be very good into the Zarya, as now the Ramatra comes into play. Not as strong into the Ram, right? Because the Ram can block, survive when that Mei wall is behind
headshot is good. And an even better one from Labda to Lip. The rush is traded, but fantastically for Qadsiah. They find the opener. Max goes down as well. And no purchase in the fight. No advantage, not even really turning the corner on this ultimate disadvantage. CR not finding the windows to pop the OC, and Heesang just can't break through these flanks. Checkmate is locking this left side down.
And Jake, the poke damage here, you know, adding Chorong in on the Wuyong, it's not as devastating when you're playing this like Ramatra Mei, because it's such a sturdy comp, right? You don't have that Sim in the mix who's very squishy. You can just get kind of poked down with ease. So
Heesang, he's struggling under withering pressure from this Mei. Frontline, still tanky. Yacht into a block, but he has that annihilation. Remember, now he steps up. Max caught in the corner, frozen by that Mei perk. Lip has the OC, but surely can't deploy it in this fight. Not without his tank. He pops it anyway. Insane commitment from Lip. Believes, and he finds one. Can he look for more? Getting to the back line. Ravenous Vortex eats him alive. And Ziad steps up looking for more, wants to clean this up. Labda is low, does go down, but Ziad standing tall, still healthy in the front line. Nothing given, everything earned. Crazy Raccoon, they step up the form from Max, but what will it earn? He needs to break this corner.
And Alcata has beat here. They have beat. It looks like they're going to be able to kind of keep Ziad alive. He's just backing up, playing these corners perfectly. You may be able to get aggressive.
Into the back line, beat is good. Protects many players. Stun, drops Labda to the floor. But his shots aren't even needed It's the beat rush from Qadsiah stifling Crazy Raccoon, and they will be stopped in their tracks here on third. Qadsiah set the win con here for the series.
You know, we were talking about that Mei, right? They kind of flashed it a little bit there before the gates open. We were like, ooh, we kind of like this. Then we were joking, goes over to the Tracer. No, that second point, they're never really able to kind of get any type of fight going. But as soon as they started to kind of get that Mei in those chokes there with the Ramatra, it's such a difficult comp to dislodge. And Crazy Raccoon was never able to do it as we take a look at some of the stats here. You know, what pops out to me is Lip with a 6 deaths there early on, right? Labda really showing up in a massive way there on the defensive side of things. It was really, I mean, you think about it, from Qadsiah, the first point hold pretty decent because they were able to kind of keep juggling the point for a while with the D.Va. They kept it going.
They clutched out on the retake. That was huge.
Yeah, but Crazy Raccoon made a tremendous push through the second part of the map. I mean, there was no defense there from Alcad.
They brought it back for sure.
But then Alcad on defense by that third point, I mean, that was as good as could be. It's a lot of pressure on CR here. As they don't even try with the Echo yet again. They're going to keep Heesang on that Tracer.
Here. I mean, Heesang has been amazing on Tracer in this tournament. I think one of the best that's still really making use of the hero at pulling attention, at forcing the backline to respond. But honestly, you got to give credit to Landon. He has been slanging those daggers. I mean, it has been a real struggle for Heesang to be that major threat in the backline. And Qadsiah are happy to get this matchup. D.Va versus Ram, the rest mirrored. This is a winning spot for Qadsiah.
And Landon was phenomenal back on Shambali Monastery, if you remember that kind of legendary now hold here for Qadsiah. If they're able to win this series, they can do it here. Push themselves into the upper finals.
Look at
and Labda finds Lip early on.
Already gets one. The assist from Landon. Beautiful kunai. He out of the back though. Hold on. Maybe it's gone too far. Can't get saved out of the suit. Desperately trying to pistol back into this. He knows CR looking for the regroup. He's rushing in. What is this aggression? But the rest of Qadsiah right behind him. The team goes as one, and it's good. They're finding enough. Labda with 3, 4, 5 in the fight. Are you kidding me?
Dude, Labda is kind of crushing right now. As Lip, we were taking a look at some of those stats. It's like you need him to step up, especially when you're trying to play through some of this hit scan. Labda gets Lip early on, gets 2 more kills after that. Alcad with the swap over to Mei, looking to put this series away. Let's go to a listen in.
Maybe just keep playing actually.
Yes, someone step up.
Yeah. Okay, speak with my timing, okay? Wait,
Yeah, when you come.
I show me a little bit.
Trace on me.
I show me.
Yeah, it's fine, I'm just marking.
Come on. Waiting for you.
Lucius gonna beat us.
I can pick now, guys.
Yeah.
We can 3, 2, 1, picking.
We're not picking now.
Hola. Shoot on.
Give me space. I shoot advantage. Keep peeking. Headshot.
I have fun.
Guys, help Blender. I'm with you. Trace the punch.
Good one. Nice. Oh, I missed shot.
Tracer, guys, I need help. Oh, my bad, should have called.
It's fine.
These pulls, stay left. Close 4, okay?
Yeah, we have wait.
Heesang earning that paycheck right now. Soloed the cart defender, but Landon, he's finding everything. 3 headshot kills back to back.
Landon is on fire right now. I mean, one of the best series that I have seen him play. Just a standout player throughout all of EMEA. He's looking to push them over the line. They have the rush. It's going to be an overclock here with the Mei wall. Going to separate some of the members of Crazy Raccoon.
A little bit early.
Oh, they rush too.
Double down. They're desperate to close out this point. Very early ult. Is the response going to be there from CR? Ziad steps on the gas into the backline, zoning so many players away. The cap comes in. Beautiful boots. And Qadsiah, they can taste this victory. The golden box within their sightlines. CR, desperation now. They must regroup. They must get back to this fight, but there's so little chance. And Ziad once again steps up to the doors. CR, how do they make this happen? It looks impossible, man.
And Jake, they have Blizzard to work with here and Sound Barrier. A perfect position for Qadsiah to finish it off. They go early with the Blizzard.
There's nothing. They can't save him. They can't make it to the cart. It's too close to boop away. 0.06, hold on. Chorung is there. Max with the ultimate. He can hold this. Kellex drops the beat. Commits. You can't get off point for even a second. And Max with the annihilation keeps this fight going. Checkmate takes down Heesang. Hold on. Qadsiah back. The boop again! Galax! Oh my God, what a win from Qadsiah. And to think how this match began. Crazy Raccoon stomped them out of Busan, destroyed them on that map, nearly took them to the brink on Shambali.
Qadsiah get the win against Crazy Raccoon to put themselves in the upper finals, but that as close as it could be. We were talking a little bit about it, like, hey, the Mei would be a really great pick for Checkmate. You were joking that I am not often compared to Jungpa, but no. Hey, no,
This was a very,
not true whatsoever.
Mei was a
great
defining pick on this map.
Oh,
right? It really had a huge impact.
Especially when they decided they were, well, Qadsiah, you probably know, they're going to fall back to the Zarya at some point. And we have seen, if you remember back to some of the Space Station gaming games, making Hawk's life really difficult with teams going to the Mei. So we take a look at some of the stats. We talk a lot about the Mei, but Labda with a tremendous series here. In the end, though, this is where I think the series was ultimately decided.
Yeah.
An opportunity for CR to go up 2-0. Landon, Kellex, Labda, an insane defensive hole there on Shambali. And that gives him an opportunity to kind of keep it 1-1 and really kind of keep their series alive.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable Fuller hold to bring that back. And the momentum shift from that point on, it only got worse. I think Qadsiah really believed. I mean, if you can do that, what can't you do?
I mean, that's 3 straight maps against Crazy Raccoon.
I was saying that.
With a sim ban.
Nobody does 3 straight maps against Crazy Raccoon. Qadsiah, they're just different. I got to say, by the way, Landon in that last map, you know, the North American teams might be out of this tournament, but one player's left, right?
Yeah.
And it's Landon. We've got an interview down on the stage. I am really excited to see how he's feeling after this incredible win from Qadsiah.
Thank you so much, guys. My name is Daniel Lim. I'm here joined by Landon for a quick post-match interview. Fans are loving it. What an upset. What a crazy victory for your team, Landon. I mean, we're just talking. I feel like you had something to say. You were teabagging? What was happening?
I mean, I might have won a 1v2 against their supports, and I threw out a quick little celebratory bag. You know, just nothing too mean.
I'm sure the production is gonna look for that clip, and we're gonna show it again because I want to see it. I mean, again, big congratulations. I'm gonna be honest, Landon. Like, this was a tough fight. Crazy Raccoon are the team to beat, right? And going in, of course, like every match as a team, you have to like think about, okay, we're gonna win this. But like, I feel like this was going to be a tough fight. But how did you guys get the win?
In our pregame speech, the kind of overall motto and saying was, it's really not fair for us if Twisted Minds get to beat Crazy Raccoons and we don't, you know? So we have to make it fair today.
All right. I mean, love that answer. Landon, another thing, I feel like, you know, you guys beat Crazy Raccoon and now you guys are going up and things are looking like you guys could actually win it all. Do you actually believe in Stockholm for 2025 Grand Finals, you guys are going to be winning it all?
We got second in the last major, and to be honest, we've improved so much. We're a much stronger team than we were last time. And if last time we were good enough to get second, I think this time we're good enough to win it all.
I believe that as well. Thank you so much, Landon, for the good interview. Everybody, give it up for Landon one more time. That is it for the interview. Zoe, take it away.